So first and foremost, I'd like to make it very clear that I'm simply not afraid of the outside opinions, especially if they're negative, that come with everything that I'm about to present to you in this video. I'm actually very proud of the person that I've learned to be over time. Make mistakes, learn from it, blah blah blah. It's basically the nature of being human is making mistakes, learning and evolving. I'm in a state right now personally where I'd like to actually focus on the highest level of intellectual evolution. And I'm going to say that again. I'm in a state of my life right now where I'd like to focus on the highest level of intellectual evolution. And when you say it like that, it's like, why are you even saying it like that? Like, that sounds so sophisticated for no reason. But like, here's the thing. If I'm not using more sophisticated terminology or vocabulary, then am I really getting better with that aspect of my life when it comes to verbal communication? I need to stop being so afraid of what other people think just because of the way I speak, because then it makes them reflect on their own ability to speak that way, and then they don't like to feel different from me. And I guess that's just a reflection of insecurity. I'm just gonna let myself learn to grow and expand my knowledge. I understand a long time ago what I experienced. I don't talk about it very often, but I'm gonna start to be more comfortable just saying it because I'm not afraid of other people's opinions anymore. People just love to assume and judge because their natural thought process is connected to the idea that something that doesn't seem necessarily normal for them, like it just seems crazy, you know what I mean? So like, just because they haven't explored that realm of consciousness yet, it doesn't mean that that person that is experiencing the elevation of consciousness is going crazy. It's just, and maybe they're perhaps more advanced intellectually and spiritually. A long time ago, I had an OBE. It's an out-of-body experience. It's basically when your physical body is separate from your astral form, like your spiritual body, and you travel to the different astral realms and stuff. And whenever you say it like that, it's like, oh, okay. Wow, this sounds like a conspiracy already. So, that's the point where you gotta stop worrying about what other people think, because I understand the nature of what I'm dealing with. I should just be proud of it. Just, set all things aside, because I am proud of what I've experienced, because it allowed me over time to be just completely fearless. I'm not afraid of death anymore. It's like the situation that I experienced just confirms to me that the spiritual realm is real, and it is accessible to every human being that seriously attempts to elevate their consciousness through meditation. It is the consistent pattern of positive thoughts. It's like a loop. Oh God, here we go. I'm just getting deep into thought now. Whenever somebody's on social media a lot, the automatic scrolling, it's called doom scrolling. I'm sure you've heard of it before, where you're constantly scrolling through negative bullshit. It makes you feel like horrible things are happening in life every single day, and it gives people anxiety. So whenever you're actually scrolling through social media constantly, it's like a constant loop, like I said. You're like unintentionally training your thought process to overthink. So the more you see bad things on your feed, the more your brain is actually going to continue to loop into bad thought patterns. You have to learn how to stop and become present in the mind and continue to feed your mind positive influence by yourself. Not talking about understanding positive influence from other people is important too, but I'm talking about giving it to yourself, allowing your spirits to flow in a natural positive energy state. So you have to be the one that gives yourself positive energy. So you tell yourself, I am thankful. You tell yourself gratitude over fear, gratitude over feeling sorry for myself. Because gratitude, in my opinion, is actually one of the best ways to gain a deeper perspective on a lot of things. So I'm just gonna say it. Gratitude is the cure to depression. I understand how to get into, I know the certain triggers that I need to do, play certain tones and headphones and stuff, and be in a certain position, lay back, in a completely relaxed state. Don't think about anything that's stressful. Don't think about anything. Be completely present where you are, and then start to gain connection with the universe, gain connection with the energy around you. I'm not even kidding. This is what it takes to perform an out-of-body experience intentionally, okay? A lot of people do it without even knowing it in their dreams and stuff, but I'm talking about intentional OBE. It takes a while to gain that high vibrational state of consciousness. Like that's how you separate your physical form and your astral form. But I'm gonna actually watch a video really quick. This is the perfect example, because I understand that what I went through, I am not the only one who has went through it.
Now, you don't have to drop dead like I did to have that happen. I think you can experience that through this deeper experience in meditation. And that's why, after I had that near-death experience, I thought, how do I get back to there?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. As soon as you experience something like that, you want more answers on how to get back to that like state of mind. So
without being deathly ill. And so I began to learn how to do meditation, because the whole universe is actually folded within every single conscious being. It's like a quantum hologram. But if you look at it, every single sentient being in the cosmos has folded within the structure of their consciousness, the entirety of the cosmos, everything. Which is why within these deep, quiet, meditative states, you can obtain knowledge, see places, know things, communicate. Because in reality, it's always there. You just have to get into a quiet state of consciousness where it opens to you.
What I'm referring to isn't some conspiracy. What I'm talking about isn't a conspiracy. It is public knowledge that you can find on the internet right now. Look up astral projection or the gateway process and analysis within the CIA, remote viewing documents that they use to spy on the Russians, and all that. The CIA, they used this method to spy on people, and it actually worked. So yes, it's a real thing with psychics and stuff. They're able to remote view, project their consciousness to a different location and be able to spy on certain individuals with certain tasks and stuff. And yes, I have unintentionally done it myself. Like I said, I've explained it before in a video where I will be in a random place. I don't know how it happens. I'm just sometimes able to move, sometimes not. And it's always in a random house. I don't know how I get there, but I understand that my spiritual awareness is awake. That is the best way for me to put it. My spiritual awareness is awake. That it's like one of the coolest things ever, because like when you're aware it's happening, you're fully aware it's happening. So I'm currently on a mission right now to meditate as much as I can and understand if I can get back to this at any point that because I'm not always successful when I do this stuff. I'm not always successful when I attempt to do an OBE or reach the astral world, you know what I mean? So it's very difficult, but I think the more that I do it, the more I will learn about myself and understand that like I said, practice makes perfect, right? So I'm going to keep meditating and try my best to reach that level of consciousness with no problem at all.